Hello everyone. Good morning and good evening. Finally, our exams are done. After all the stress, final preparations, last minute preparations, and all, our exams are done. And yeah, we are here today with another top talk. It feels like we haven't met for weeks, right? Before I get into the topic and all, Kranti, could you please get into the invocation?
Thank you, Deepti Marapale. This is who I am. Talented, energetic, astonishing mindset. I can do anything and everything. I talk, I care, I respect others. I see beauty in everything. I connect hearts. I am driven by values. I celebrate others. I provide value to others. I take ownership in everything I do. I have freedom to make mistakes. I learn as I go. I am mad to make a difference. I love disruptive ideas. I make impossible things possible. I am strong to question the creation. I believe in dreaming big. If I do not dare to dream big, am I really living? Why be ordinary when I can be extraordinary? I should be driven by my goals, not by egos. I can do it. I will do it. I will not hope for the best. I will be the best. This is who I am.
Thank you, Kranti, for that invocation. And yeah, going ahead, today's top speaker is Venugopal sir. And yeah, he gave us this wonderful opportunity to select the topic on which he is going to give a talk for us. So listen to me carefully as I tell all of his experience in a snapshot. He is experienced in strategy planning, budget planning, management, cost control and PNL, project pricing, review and contracts negotiation, operations and people management and mentoring, change management, crisis management and projects turnaround, business development and global delivery management, customer and client relationship management and development, consulting in IT and business management. So, firstly, welcome Venugopal sir. And by the time you all, the audience, keep thinking about the topic which you want Venugopal sir to talk about. And I would like to ask sir to talk about strategy planning, budget planning, cost control, and PNL.
Looks like we got disconnected, huh?
Meanwhile, keep thinking about the topic.
Yeah. Please keep thinking about any questions you want to ask him. So you have information about from his WhatsApp text regarding him. So look through that and have few questions ready for him. And Venugaru said he cannot be on video because his video camera is not working. That doesn't mean you should not be on video. So does anyone know when we lost? Oh, okay, he's back. He's back.
So, sir, we would want you to talk about strategy planning, budget planning, and cost control and PNL.
Well, definitely, whatever I can, I will speak about that. But first, at the outset, let me just apologize because my camera has conked off, and I got a new laptop which arrived from Shravan's country only yesterday. So I have to configure and I have to set it up. That's why I'm still using my old laptop. Probably next time I'll not have this problem. And second thing, I lost you people for a couple of seconds due to poor network connection, and I rejoined. So definitely, first, what is the total duration that we have for this? So probably I can talk accordingly.
We have like till 10. 10:30, I guess, right?
Don't guess, be sure.
Sir, till 10:30.
Okay, great. So what I'll do is probably I'll share from my experience over the years. When we are talking of strategy, okay, I'll start with that word strategy because you picked up that topic. See, strategy is something that it is not universal for anything. It depends on what you are trying to do and what you are trying to achieve. And based on that, you will have to define your strategy. See, it could be a organization level strategy, it could be a country level strategy, it could be a project level strategy, or it could be a strategy for achieving your own goals when you are doing engineering or when you are doing technology, or it could be a strategy for beating your opponents at the lowest level when you are, or it could be a strategy to outwit your competitors. So it depends on that. And what I will talk about is I will talk about what we used to do, because most of the time our strategy was in trying to beat our competitors. Because when we beat our competitors, what we do is our organizational strategy, which is planned, if that has to succeed, there are many sub strategies that need to be successfully accomplished. So at different levels, there are different strategies. And once you successfully plan your strategy and put them into action and succeed, that will contribute to the success of the organization strategy. Since we are, I don't know, we are about to get into the organizations, that is you people. And I'm sure there are quite a few of them who want to start their own organizations and others. So I'll try to just mix them up and try to balance them a bit. I used to head the technical sales support while I was in US for an organization, and there uh, it was different. My task was, what is it that we do about our competitors, because our basic objective was to increase the bottom line, increase the revenue. Top line and bottom line, these were the two targets in the organization for us. It is just like you people talk about there's that 100 crores by 30 years. So top line, bottom line. For our organization also it was the same. So when it used to come to this strategy, we always used to wonder what is it that we should do, how should we beat our competitors, even if it is, see, we have to be marginally less, we have to be qualitatively high. The quality has to be good, cost has to be less. So this is the basic strategy. But how do we go about achieving this? Getting to know about the customers or the prospects and knowing what they are looking for is a primary requirement. The second thing is who all are who all are these customers trying to get associated with? Who are our competition? What is the market? So who are the players involved? How do we beat them at their own game? How do we succeed? So for this, we needed something called the market intelligence. I'm just trying to put it in very plain, simple words. We needed market intelligence. That means we needed to know everything about the customer. We need to know most of the things about our competitors. If we need to know about the customers, it is not just that, okay, the customer is XYZ company. And the simplest thing people do is they just go onto the net and they Google and they say, okay, this is the customer, these are the details, these are available, this. And that is what, then everyone starts talking, well, I know about this customer, is blah 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 blah. See, this is public knowledge. So you need something beyond that. If you need something beyond that, what exactly is the, because most of the answers to the customer queries or customer requirements are there in the query itself. If you carefully look at it, you have to read the customer request very carefully to understand and to find out what exactly he's looking for. Read between the lines. You will get a lot of clues. A lot of times, what people do is they just read it, and the first impression that comes to the mind, they think, oh, this is what he wants, and then they start building their plan according to that. No, you have to read every word carefully because every word conveys something. Then you put down. Then what you need to do is, who is this guy? How do you plan to succeed? How do you strategize? So you know the organization, you know what they are asking for, you know you have their request. Now what is it that you need to do next? Which is the group which this request is coming from? What is the background of this group? How are they known in the market? How are they known internally? Who are the people who are responsible for this, floating this? What is the background of those people? Their professional background, their personal background. It may sound a bit silly trying to find out their personal background, but it is very, very important when you are planning and when you are strategizing. So you try to figure out even their personal background. So what we used to do to know their personal background, we used to go into their organization and we used to figure out who is this guy or who is this lady, how is she, what is she. We used to go to the extent of figuring out who are her friends, what bodies she's a member of, professional bodies, clubs, etc. Everything. We used to get the complete background because that gives an insight into the person. Then what you can do is you can say, okay, my strategy is going to be this. Hey, this is how. Depends on the importance of the task that you have taken up. So if these people, they're members of particular clubs, we could have our own contacts at our CIO level, at our CXO level. How do we try to get in contact? How do we build the bridges? Okay. So when we talk of something, we try to find out the last detail, including the clubs they frequent, what they do, what their interests are, everything. And I can also give you examples of this later. This is one thing. And the second thing is, in every organization or everywhere, forget organization, everywhere, there are two types of people who decide, or rather, who are responsible for the final decision. One is the decision maker who decides what is to be done. So we need to make sure that what we are doing is aligned with the thinking of the decision maker. That is very important. The second category of people are the influencers in the organization, because everyone is influenced by someone else. If X is there, X always listens to someone. Everyone in this world, takes the opinion of someone, has faith in someone. Like, for example, when it is related to Thop, when Shravan says something, we just take it. Because even if we have to talk somewhere and we have our own ideas, but if Shravan comes and says that hey, this is about Thop. So we are influenced. Yeah, probably because he's been thinking about it, and we know that he's the guy whom I can trust, and I trust him with everything. So there are decision makers and influencers. So the first thing that we spoke of was the decision makers whom we are trying to figure out about their entire background, about their history, who they are, what they are, where they go, what they do, everything. And the second is the set of the influencers. These people are hidden. It's very difficult to find out about them. If you have to find out about them, then you have to get into the organization, and you have to have your own connects. Well, one may ask, how do you get these connects? Well, that's an involved process because there are a different set of people always in an organization who are working on it, trying to figure out that's their job. Okay, let me pause for a minute. Whatever I'm speaking, I hope it's making some sense. If it is sounding like nonsense, or if it is raising some other questions in your mind, please stop me, because it's not going to be a monologue. Shravan and Swapna have said that it is going to be an interaction. So please feel free, because I'm only quoting from my experience, but there is a lot for me to learn, because every day you learn something which you implement, and that could become a part of your what a quote unquote strategizing in various situations. So here we are talking of, is that okay, or Deepthi?
It is,
Yeah,
it is okay, sir.
okay.
It's fine. Like we are understanding what you are telling, and like till now we don't have any doubts yet. So you can continue.
Well, it's not only doubts. You may also have thoughts,
Hmm.
which probably after years we might not have got it, but you could get it when you're thinking. So it's not only doubts. You could have your own thoughts.
Yes.
So please feel free. Now the second set is the influencers, and these are the most important people about whom you have to know when you are strategizing, because they are hidden, their thoughts are hidden, and they also may have some favorites. So it's very important to figure out who these influencers are when you have to strategize. So these are two sets of people in an organization about whom you have to know when you have to develop your strategy. These are two people who are decision makers, are again at different levels. Decision makers are people, first level decision makers, second level decision makers, third level decision makers. It's not that just there is one set of people who will say, okay, fine, this is it. It has to, the first set of decision makers also to an extent act as influencers, because they are the people who push the data or pump the information to the next level. The next level trusts these people, so they take it. So it goes to the highest level. And when I said decision makers and we need to know everything about them, we need to know about everything about these different levels of decision makers. Because the people who are interacting with them, again, are different levels of people from the organization which is trying to get something from, let's say the organization which is trying to get something is A, organization which is trying to, from which you are trying to get something is B. So people, there are different sets of people in A also who interact with different levels in B. So we need to know about all these decision makers. This is one part. Second is the organization. What is the organization? When has it come into being? What is the direction of the organization? What are they trying to do? What are they trying to achieve? What are they trying to do for their customers? Because if they have to succeed, they have to satisfy their own customers. And that is very important for them, because their customers are satisfied, then you know their business is done, and then their goals or objectives are realized. So what is this organization? What are its objectives? What are its goals? Who are its customers? What does it want from them? What does the organization want from this particular task or project, or whatever you may call? What is the expected outcome? What is the financial involvement? What is the total budget they have? Because there are many a time when there could be some false leads. False leads in the sense, there could be a lot of organizations which could be asking for a lot many things. But are they really wanting it, or are they just trying to feel the pulse of the market? Because many a time, a lot of people may not have the capability to execute many things. But what they do is they want to feel the pulse of the market, they want to be in limelight, so they keep asking for many things. So if the organization asks, hey, what is this particular project, this particular thing, it's a huge one. Can the organization really afford it? Do they have the revenues? If they have the revenues, which is the group within the organization which is trying to push this? Does that particular group have the required budget? If they have the required budget, what if they have a particular budget? What is the budget that is allocated for this? What is the total duration of this? So this is another set of information that one needs to figure out. We spoke about individuals, we are talking about the organization. The organization capability, the organization direction, the organization expectations, the organization customers, the needs of the organization's customers. So this is a whole set of information that is once again figured out. And then, do these organizations have any partners, strategic partners with whom they work, or whom they always associate with? Many a time what happens is, most of the organizations, what they do is they float like this and they give it to their partners. I'll give you an example of this. I was the resident manager of Germany, responsible for the business there. And I was in TCS, and we used to be highly competitive. And we were building up our business at that time, and we were bagging most of the projects. And surprisingly, there was a huge project which was to come up in East Germany. And then we worked day and night, we put a lot of effort, we created a wonderful proposal for that organization, we gave it. Then it got postponed. And finally, we had our sources within IBM. When we spoke to them, we came to know that project execution had already started for the proposal that they had floated. I said, how the hell that can happen? Because we are yet to receive any response. No, the proposal that was offered by TCS was just taken and given to IBM East Germany, because they were partners of IBM East Germany. They said, this is what they are offering us. And well, the technical solution is this. This is the cost, everything. And IBM East Germany started executing it. When we approached and they said, no, we haven't yet taken a decision. We'll be taking a decision shortly. Later, we realized that they had given it to them. So it is very important also to know, when you're building up your strategy, do they have any alliances? Do they have any partners with whom they are going to work? Because at the end of the day, after putting in a lot of work, if it doesn't work out, Whatever you have strategized, it's a waste. So the first step in, even before building up the strategy, you will have to first decide, hey, is this worth pursuing? Do we really need to go after this? After that decision is made, go or no go, then you develop your strategy looking at the decision makers, looking at the organization, looking at the influencers, looking at their backgrounds. You try to work out, hey, this is what we are going to do. Step one, step two, step three, step four, step five. So even before you strategize, to build a strategy, you'll have to first decide, hey, whether is it really required? People are talking, well, these are all fancy words, strategy, strategizing, everything. But in simple terms, strategy is also nothing but a list of steps. It's just like a process. There are steps that you need to execute to succeed. That is what strategy is. So you do this. Once you get to know about the organization, once you get to know about the people, once you get to know about their partners, etc., etc., their influencers, everyone. The next thing that we need to check, we have looked at one side of the story, now we have to look at the other side of the story. As an organization, what is it that we need to do? How do we need to do it? Can we do it? Should we do it? These are questions one should pose to oneself, because it could be a $2 billion project, and you might just be a 100 million or 150 million dollar company. So the first thing is, do we take a decision? Hey, do we really go for this? If we go, at the end of it, are they really going to look at us or not going to look at us? Because there are many times people only try to partner or work with people at the equal level. So there are a lot of decisions that we need to take from the organization side. We need to study, hey, this is our organization, these are our skills, this is our technical strength, this is our financial strength, this is what they are asking. Do we have all the capabilities? If we have the capabilities, yes, can we spare our resources? Can we spare our organization resources to execute this? In which part of the world is this? Is it in Africa? Is it in Australia? Is it in... I'll come to that. So there are a lot many things that we have to look within our organization when we are about to execute something. What are our capabilities? Who we are? What we are in the market? What is our standing? What are the chances of succeeding? Will they consider us, etc.? This is one set. The third thing is the geographical consideration. In which geography are we to execute this? Is that geography helpful? It could be Africa, it could be Australia, it could be US, Europe, Asia, we don't know. Because every geography is governed by a different set of rules. The cultures are different. Everything is different. So when you are looking at it, you have to, I'm talking purely taking project as a basis for all this discussion. So in this geography, when can we execute? Let's say I have to go to Uganda and do that, or Nigeria and do it, let's say in Africa. Well, the project could be very lucrative, but the thing is it conducive? Can I put my people there? Can I execute? Is it safe? What are the rules that are governing? What are the levels of corruption? So there are many things. I can give you an example. We're working for a project in Nigeria. We thought it was a breakthrough. We were trying to get in. We put few people there. Believe me, they were guarded 24 hours by security. Living in a secure compound, even on a weekend, if they had to go to a beach, the security people used to go and cordon off a area. These people used to spend time in that area and come back. The security, it's their responsibility to take them and bring them back safely. So in such an environment, it was difficult. See, you can't put, people will not be willing. What is the willingness of our people even to go? We may think that yes, we will execute it. You can push people to go and do it, but people also have the right to say, okay, go take a walk. I'm not interested. There's so many other opportunities in this world where I can do better, and they walk off. So there are many aspects that need to be considered. The geography, how is it set up? Again, in that geography, can we execute? Can we not execute? So there are a whole set of factors that need to be considered. And when all these factors we feel are, falling in place, and we are comfortable with them, then we say, okay, this is what we are going to do. Hey, if we are going to execute in this geography, we are going to probably align ourselves with these people. We are going to work at this level in their government, because government is a key factor. When you are strategizing, when you're looking at projects overseas or someplace, the ruling dispensation is very, very important, because they are the one who can make or break. So, hey, this is it. We are going to work with these people in this country, in this location. So this is how we are going to do. These are the things that are available. This is what they can provide to our people. So these are the other things that we need to take care of. So once that is identified, and we say, okay, fine, we can do that. Financially, we can take up this project. We have the technical, financial capability, everything. Once we are sure of this, now we have found out about who the people are in the organization, who are the decision makers, who are the influencers, right from top to bottom. Get to know of them. Okay, we know these people. This is how we are going to handle. And then once we do this, okay, we are going to execute this, but is this really going to help us in achieving our own objectives? Whether it's financial or whether it's technical, you want to become a technically superior organization by executing that, fine. Is it going to really help us in achieving our objectives? Once all these are, you put down your steps, which you can term as strategy. So I'll pause here. Any questions or anything, or any thoughts, any opinions?
Yes, ma'am. You can.
Thank you so much, sir, for sharing this. It was very relevant to us, especially after the ideathon, the ideas which the children had created, related to feasibility report of, maybe we can, if you have time, I don't know how much time we can give. I'm just asking the question. It's up to you and the group how it can be handled. Suppose we have a case study. Two of the teams actually had presented the idea of marketing at the global level, some traditional snacks or homemade things from the village, and beauty products, natural beauty products, which they can take. So two of the teams, these were the themes of the ideas. So the feasibility report we were considering is sending it abroad. And first is, like you have relevantly shared about what resources and what all limitations we have and how we can achieve success. So basic thing was time, effort, and resources. Suppose someone is able to get a sponsor and they're getting the funds, still there is need of time and resources and technical skills and available wisdom or knowledge regarding this global marketing. So suppose from India, we are able to transport this by courier services to US or wherever. like festival traditional things, whatever. And as per the rules of the packaging, they have some rules that I think unbranded stuff is not allowed, liquid stuff is not allowed. There are so many restrictions. So first we have to study about these restrictions. That is one thing. And what is the time limit? Like suppose we plan for within 2-3 months or 1 month, we need to do it. We may not be fit enough or technically sound, or we don't have the time or resources for it. And sorry, if it is for a long term, maybe after 1 year or after six few years, whatever the time limit. So one is the time limit or the time frame. Another is the technical skills and capabilities, and how to achieve success and make it viable. So if it is a pilot project, it is at a different scale. If it is at a small scale or hand, like Lijat Powered is one example. So they may have started from the homes of the people, of women. Basically, it's for women entrepreneurs. So it may have started from the home level, and then it will go on to, it has now, it is like Papad for me is Lijat Papad. So it's a brand name. So similarly, Thop brand. So we are trying to create it, and it may take its own time because there are a lot of activities going on, and uh, it's a dream, a vision which will come true surely. But when it will come, we are just waiting, like when the right time comes, how things fall in place. Can you share your thoughts about strategy and how we can achieve success at the global marketing? What we have to look for, especially because US, there are stringent rules about transporting food items, and people personally, passengers can't take some items there. So all those things and all, I'm not very familiar because I stay in India, but I have seen my brothers, siblings, and all there. So they've been thrown away at the airport because they're not allowed to take some things. So these are the challenges faced. So can you share something if you are aware, if it is relevant, if you have time to spare?
Sure.
Thank you so much, sir.
Yeah. Any other questions, or first shall I just respond to Shailaja Garu?
You may respond to this.
Okay. Shailaja Garu, first you said, if I understood correctly what you have stated, you're talking of a business. Okay.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So when we are talking of business, first thing is, and there were also few points I'm sure they just told by when you were speaking, like you are very correct. There are a lot of restrictions that could be there when you are transporting stuff across continents to different countries. You have very rightly said, sometimes they are just thrown away in the airport. You have also very correctly said that it cannot be carried by passengers. And you said probably, you are you could take it on a pilot basis, or it could be a project which you're planning for long term. So what is it that one needs to do in such circumstances? First thing, if you're thinking of a business and planning a business, I think you should think purely in business terms. You should forget about passengers carrying it. Okay. And if it's a business you want to succeed in a long term, I guess it's not just like day trading in stock market where people trade in the buy in the morning, sell in the evening, and try to make some profit and get away. There are also people who invest in the market for a long term. So if we are talking of daytime trading in stock market, it is just like asking some passengers to carry it for someone, sell it there, make whatever little money you can, and whenever it is possible, whenever one is lucky, the passengers get through, you make your money, otherwise it's gone. It's a risk.
No, sir. We are not interested in the passengers. I'm telling this is the reality. So
Yeah,
we
yeah.
are
I'm
considering a
coming to it.
courier service.
Yeah,
Yes, sir.
I'm telling Shailaja.
Yeah, yes, sir.
Even if it's courier service, one is not sure, because there are places where these couriers get stuck up for weeks and weeks together. I'm telling you because I know. Suppose, and these couriers, sometimes what happens is they don't travel directly to the end destination. They go to a particular, they are transit points, they go to the transit point, and in the transit point, they could get stuck for days or weeks. At that time, what happens is, if you're product is perishable, then you're gone. Otherwise, second thing is, if the product gets delayed, your customer is unhappy, you're gone. So there are many risk factors. So probably that may not be the method also. And the thing is, you said, well, it's an industry in India. Shailaja Garu, I'm also in India. I stay in Hyderabad, though I stayed in US and I returned. So what is the alternative? How should we go about this if you really want to succeed? We want to set it up as an industry. So
Yes.
probably you think today and you can't start tomorrow. Let me tell you.
Yes, sir.
What needs to be done is some time needs to be invested in this, because there is always a way, even if there are restrictions, that you cannot, a passenger cannot carry liquid, but you can definitely ship it. There will be some clause, there will be some condition, and there could be a place from where, if it is shipped, they accept it, probably not from a third world country. So there are many things that need to be figured out. How is it that we can send this product? So the loss of that land and the loss of our this thing are to be studied carefully to find out how exactly we can put it there. And this is going to take time. It is not just a one-day affair. Probably you might have to spend 3 months, 4 months in trying to study in detail and figure out, well, this is the procedure by which I'm going to transport my good from here to that place. And once it is done, is it really risk-free, or is the risk mitigated by 95%? Well, if it's mitigated by 90%, 95%, that's very good for me. I can go through that process. Or is there a transit point from where, like for example, if you're flying from Middle East to US, people who are resident in Middle East, it's much easier for them to get a visa and go. If you're trying from India, or if you're trying from, let's say, some other country, it is so much more difficult. So if you are talking of a product, well, can this product be shipped as a product from XYZ country? Probably to push it to XYZ country, it is very simple from India. From XYZ country, probably it's very easy to push it to your end destination. Or alternately, if you are trying to, while you are doing all this, you want to establish the brand of your product and you want to carry it out as a pilot. I'm sure there are like-minded people in, let's take US, because you mentioned US. There are like-minded people in US who are also interested in doing business. And let me tell you, you will have to do a bit of investigation and scouting. You will find lots of people who are interested in doing such a kind of business and who are in US and who are not doing anything. So it will be a very great opportunity for them. Probably they cannot do it on a large scale, but they definitely would like to do this business. And if you are trying to promote a product, that product can be, the know-how can be sent from here to them. The product can be built there in the end destination itself, and it could be marketed while you are in your process of trying to figure out how it is to be sent, what needs to be done here, where can the product, what are the quality restrictions, what are the let's say, what are the customs, what are the custom rules there, and if you have to send it from here, what is the life of the product, how quickly have you to send, and what is the best way and what is the quickest way to send. So all this study which you are talking of, while it's being completed, the pilot project can be taken up at the end destination. And you may say, okay, well, the experts that I have, or the people who have the know-how, they are not there and they are available only here. So probably you can think of shipping these 1-2 people to that place for a period of time, like we used to do it in the IT industry. It's not that we had all the skills in our organization. There were some expert skills that were required, and they were available in different countries. So what we used to do, while we are the people who are controlling everything, we are the people who are going to run the project. We were picking up these people from different countries. We were flying them to the destination for a limited period of time when their involvement was required, get it executed, and then again leave them. So this is another thing that you can think of. The pilot can be taken by people who are local to that area. You can probably send 1 or 2 of your experts. Well, that would be the investment, and that risk you will have to take while you are working out all these procedures. And believe me, it is possible. The reason is, we have done this, I have done this in the IT industry. The end product was software, but quite some time back, there were a lot of restrictions sending software from here. So if we are carrying it, then there is a problem. How do we carry it in tapes, in discs? So, and then internet came, and we were pushing it through internet, and there were a lot of risks of losing it. And but what we did was, we scoured the globe. We found where the required skills were available. We figured out a way how to get these resources to the endpoint to execute it for pilot projects, while we were building up our infrastructure, our this thing here. And before the pilot was over, we used to come up with something. And you have your customers on your side. The customers are definitely going to help you, because it's not only you, it is their interest also. Once you develop some good customer and he sees value in what you are providing to him or her or that organization, they are going to come forward and they are going to pitch in to help you overcome some of the difficulties that you have mentioned. So it is possible. But if you have any other questions, probably offline, my telephone number is there, my mail ID is there. I can definitely help you. There's no issue.
Yeah, thank you so much, sir. The case study, sorry, the case study has been very revealing a lot of information and how the challenges are there. And I will connect to you offline, sir, regarding this. Because it was a long-term project. I have seen the need of Indian community, especially the Telugu community in US, and we have even tried out having an Indian restaurant there and all that. So we are trying to work out logistics for, for the actual feasibility, which is simple, and for women entrepreneurs. So I will connect you offline, sir. Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you, ma'am. Sir, so could you, like Shailaja ma'am mentioned before, could you tell about feasibility report? Sir, we can't hear you if you are speaking. Meanwhile, think about questions, friends.
We
Sir,
have
you are on mute.
we have a maximum of 39 minutes, right?
Sir?
We have a maximum of 39 minutes, right? So maybe we can end in like 15-20 minutes.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So say that we have another meeting. No, don't have to say anything. Just let us end it in 15-20 minutes. And for
Yes.
more questions, we can join later.
Welcome back, sir.
Shailaja Garu, I'm sorry, the connection got disturbed. I don't know how. You were saying something. Sorry, I lost you. Can you repeat?
Yeah, thank you so much for the case study information. We learned a lot, sir. I will connect to you offline for more details, sir.
Sure, sure. Most welcome anytime.
Sir, we will end it in 15 minutes. So any more questions? Or sir, could you tell about feasibility report? Like Shailaja ma'am was mentioned before. Could you tell something about it?
What what exactly do you want to know? You tell me.
Like what is how feasibility report is useful in businesses?
What is it is there, like I told you, the answer is in your question itself. What is feasibility? A feasibility report is, well, is something possible or not? You are conducting a study to figure out whatever you want to do is possible or not. If it is possible, is it meeting your requirement? You may want to start an organization or a business with profit. Let's say you want 20% profit, and you may say that, well, this is my product, and this is the place I'm want to start. So you just can't start like that because you don't know whether you have a market for it. You don't know if people are going to like it. It's not only what you like, right? You like something, you can't start a business of that. You have to see if there is a market existing for that. If a market is existing for that, what is the market volume? Are the products, is the raw material available for that? If it is available, fine. If it is not available, how do you get it? From where do you get it? What is the cost of the raw material? What are the technical resources that you require? What are the resources that you require here? And what are the rules and regulations of the local dispensation that you need to know? Because there are so many. If you just say, I'm going to start, probably the government will not even allow you. So what is it that you need to do? What are the government rules and regulations? What is your end market? Where do you want to sell it? How do you want to sell it? What are your channels? And what is the total cost of the product that's going to be there after you do all this? And if you mark it up by 10% or 20%, whatever, is it going to sell in the market? More important, you are thinking of something. Do you have competitors in the market? If these competitors are there, where are they? Are they in your place? What is their market share? Can you compete with them? If you have to compete with them, how long do you have to be in the market to grow? Because you have to break even at some point in time. If you don't break even, then you are lost. So what are the risks that are involved in this? So all these factors, you study about them, you put down everything, and then you say, okay, hey, considering all this, I don't think this is a good thing to do, because there are already too many players in the market, or my cost is going to be extremely high, so I may not make that, or my break even is going to take quite some time. Probably I may not get the investment. The investment costs are high, and the possibility of someone taking over is very high. So these are various factors that need to be considered. In fact, we had done a lot of such studies when we were in TCS, both in India as well as abroad, in different areas, in food products, in cosmetics, plus in there's metals trading, the variety of projects like mining, jhum cultivation in Northeast. There are so many things. So the first important thing is, the first step is the feasibility study. Well, you'll have to spend some money for that. Everyone has to spend money for that, until and unless you have some very good friends who can do it free of cost for you, or you do it yourself by putting in a lot of hard work. But definitely a single person may not have all the expertise. So that investment, basic investment, would be required. And once that study report is there, then you are confident you can go ahead with your strategizing for the project or whatever it is. You're interested offline, I can help you with the details and question answers to your questions.
Yes, sir. Thank you. Sir, do you want to
Yeah, let
ask?
me just add a little bit to what Venugar has said. Okay. First of all, he covered everything. So one of these days, what we will do is we'll try to do a feasibility study on a very simple idea, okay, with very few variables. So we'll do that. It will be a good experience to do that. So one of these days, we'll try to take a small, example, and we'll try to do that. There are a lot of formats for feasible study in the internet, so we can take one of the formats and try to do it. That is the best way to learn. uh, you know because it is hard to uh, see all these parameters, right? When Venugar is telling all these parameters, it's really hard to uh, put them into mm, understand all of them. So let us try to do one of these feasibility studies. I've been thinking about this for a couple of years now, so we'll try to do this year sometime. Okay, Dipti?
Yeah.
Okay, sir. Thank
And
you.
Deepti,
basically,
just one thing.
Yes, sir.
Uh, just because you mentioned it in the write-up, I just want to tell you that this strategy thing, and if you remember, you said from 35 million to 200 million.
that is big.
We did this. I was the global head for business development support when we achieved this. We put in a lot of hard work. That single project was worth $135 million. And for that, whatever I told you, we did everything. To the extent, if Shravan is the decision maker there, to which clubs does Shravan go? Whom does he interact with? What are his likes, dislikes? What are his tastes? What are that organization's likes? What are its corporate social responsibility activities? When the client came, we used to focus on that. We used to also align, tell that, hey, both the organizations are aligned. You have the CSR responsibilities, we also work in this direction. We do this, this, this. The client is happy. Because there are many times, everyone, including yourself, Shravan, me, or Shailaja Garu, or Srinivas, or Geeta Garu, we all like to hear what we really like and is music to our ears. If someone says something even slightly away from what we like or what we think, we feel that, no. But if they speak something which you like, it's music to your ears. And you are so much more friendly and you are disposed of well. So we also used to strategize on meeting. In a meeting, we used to think, hey, when we are talking of this, there are 5 of us. We introduce, okay, these people are there. When the customer is talking, suddenly, one person from our group itself used to interrupt. But that was the strategy we used to adopt. Why? It used to be natural, but that person used to interrupt to say something which will set the client thinking in that direction, which he likes. So even the meetings used to be planned that way. So we went to that extent where we used to plan our face-to-face meetings also like that. We studied the entire background of these people, the organization, everything. Believe me, it was a 5-6 month effort before we succeeded in getting this project. It's a lot of effort, lot of effort. So strategizing is a very simple word, and it's used very loosely. And people, at the same time, people think it's something oh my God, strategizing. Just think in simple terms. These are the logical steps that you put together to succeed. That's all. This is what it is. And there was some statement which Shravan has made. He is ready to share his knowledge and make us shine. Sorry, I'm no one to make you shine. You people are shining. You are like the sun. The only thing is there are lots of clouds around you. Push the clouds away, you will start shining. I'm no one to make you shine. I'm still trying hard to shine by myself. So thoughts are nothing but doubts, clouds, suspicions, self, oh, self doubts, all these. Push these away. At the end of it, just remember one thing. Nothing will happen. The sky will not fall on your head and you'll be injured or you'll die. Nothing is going to happen. It is only that, well, it may fall on your head, but next time when you're doing it, hey, this is not the way I have to do it. I need to do it this way. So you people are all stars and suns by yourself. No one will make you shine. Not me, not Shravan, not anyone. You will have to shine by yourself. So that self-doubt, all those clouds, you just push them away and be confident, be confident. I'll give a very, very small example and then I will close because you said 30, probably we have quite a bit of time. I was like you. I just got out of college after my PG, working for Royal Bank of Canada, which I mentioned. If you take a book written by the CEO of CEO of TCS by name Ram, it's the journey of TCS journey. I really feel very proud because in that entire book, one project is mentioned in which I played a critical role, and that is Royal Bank of Canada. Amongst all the projects, there are projects executed, but it is mentioned 3 pages were given to it by gentleman on the right. First time I didn't read it, I didn't know about it, but when I read, I was over the moon. After so many years also, I said, wow, whatever I had done at that time, that means, yes, some good work was done. I'll just narrate a small thing to tell why you should be confident and you should not be worried about anything that you do. You should always think that you'll succeed. We were working for this Royal Bank of Canada. We had to send a module live. Like it has loans, it has checking, it has general banking, everything. And this loans module was supposed to go live. They gave us a weekend and they said by Monday morning, 7:45, the system should be ready. If it is not ready, then we'll be, for every hour of delay, we'll be losing so many millions. So we had to execute some standard runs there. Those days itself, there were millions of transactions. At the end of the day, you had to run, you had to do a lot of work. So Friday night, they gave the job to us. They said Friday night we had to run. Saturday morning, they gave the job to us. Friday night run, Saturday night run we had to do. We had to implement the loan system. We had to give it to the customers by Monday morning. So Friday night, we started working, planning, preparing for it, everything. There were 2 other colleagues by name Ravi and Chandra. Both are no more. Wherever they are, I wish they're peaceful. They are not in this world anymore. So, and Saturday night, it was saying, and when we were checking, and we found all the reports to be in a mess. So we said, my God, all these reports are in a mess. What do we do? If we have to do, then we have to, rerun both night runs, which is going to take about 8 hours. And it was already Sunday night, 10:30, 11. And then we had to put loans module we had already put. So we don't have the time. What do we do? Our boss was there. And that boss, he was a very technically very good guy, but at the same time, he was also a guy who used to be scared. कुछ हो गया, अरे client गाली देगा, client ये कर देगा, company को ये होगा, वो होगा. So he was sleeping. He left it to us and he said, if there's a problem, just wake me up. By then we had already not slept for, it was Friday onwards, we didn't sleep. Friday night, Saturday night, Sunday. Then we were looking at it, and I was the guy who built the interface. So there was a language called for natural. I just looked at everything. I said, let us look at all these here. Kaha problem hai? We got the problem, but we had to carry out these runs. I said, we know the problem. What we will do is we will separate all these files, data files. For that, we will write some small routines, which will directly go and update them. And we know this because there used to be a language called job control language, which executes programs. Some steps were missed in it. So these problems happened. I said, we'll set this right, everything will be fine. This guy, Chandra and Ravi, they were good guys. They were my buddies. And in fact, Chandra he was more intelligent, I would say. Even this Ravi was more intelligent than me. He said, okay. Arey, that guy Chandra said, I don't know how many of you know Tamil, but he said, no agadra pandlam. He said, that means, hey, nothing will happen. Let's go ahead and try. Yaar, itna ho gaya to kya hoga? The worst that can happen is that the database will go bad. They will hang us tomorrow morning. That's all, not something beyond that. But we will do it. So we went ahead, did it. We were scared because we were just 1 year into the organization, and that's a big risk. Our boss was sleeping. Next day morning, we were waiting. 7:45, everything went home. The client was behind us telling, hey guys, you did sleep for 72 hours, go home. We said no. Because we were scared. If something goes wrong, jobs are online and we didn't know. We were very young. Then finally everything was fine. When the boss, he came and congratulated, then we told him, hey, this is what has happened in the night, do you know? He just stood like that and he said, तुम लोग एक दिन मेरे को मार दोगे, मेरे को हार्ट अटैक आएगा. So we told him, that's precisely the reason why we didn't tell you. You would have had a heart attack if you had heard about this. And I said, thanks to Chandra, he's 1 year senior to us. He's a guy, yaar. He said, let's do it, nothing will happen, yaar. What will they do? They'll sack us from the job. Nothing beyond that. So we did it. And believe me, the result of that was the entire organization started trusting us. And normally they don't leave their systems to the consultants and especially people who are young. But this one incident made them do it. And we were extremely thrilled. The thrill I felt on that day, I felt when I read this book written by Ram Dorai, in which 3 pages was dedicated to this. No, the project was mentioned. So what we think is small, what we think we are doing, it could be important to someone. Believe me, everything is important to someone. Let us treat it like good. What will happen if we go wrong? You will be at best criticized, castigated, shouted at by someone. Nothing beyond that will happen. But the moment you start trying and you start doing things, you'll start succeeding. And once you succeed, there's no looking back. That is when you people will shine. Okay. So best, if there are any other questions, I'm willing to take. Absolutely no issues. Thank you, Shravan. Thank you, Deepthi. And thanks everyone for listening to me. I hope I was not boring. So please, to you, Deep, whatever you have to. I'm listening.
Thank you so much, sir. Like, I like the part where your colleague was like, "What's the worst thing which could happen?" I use it in my daily life. Actually, I mean, I know my things are not that big, but then I'll be like, whenever like take stage, I am stage fright. I have stage fear, so I'll be like, "What's the worst thing that could happen?" People will laugh at me. Let them laugh. Like, so that's the kind of attitude we must have. Thank you so much for sir for reminding it again. Any more questions, or we can end it. So thank you so much, sir, for coming here
Thank you.
and giving talk on the topic which we wanted to listen to. It was very helpful, I feel, for everyone also. Thank you so much, sir.
So thank you so much, and once again my apologies because my camera has conked, and Shravan was a bit late in sending that stuff from US. I just received my laptop yesterday from my nephew.
So you're blaming
So next time probably I will, because he's also in US. So that's why I just use the name Shravan. So probably next time,
Yeah.
yes, I can also show my face, which is not very beautiful. One can get it.
Thank you so much, Venugaru, for
Everyone is beautiful.
doing this talk. Thank you very much.
Thank you
Sure,
so
Shravan,
much.
anytime.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye bye. Have a good day, all of
Bye.
you.
Bye.